Hello everyone, my name is Ziki and thank you so much for joining me. Now let's take a look at the news headlines for today. The city of Harare has been hit by a typhoid outbreak. According to reports, more than 60 cases have been confirmed in Budiriro, Glenview and Glenora. Poor service delivery by the city council has been blamed for the diarrhea outbreak. The second story we have is ZANU PF has won the Mutasa North Ward 6 by-elections, which was previously won by the opposition in 2018. ZANU PF's Regina Barara got 1,080 votes against Miss Barbara Nyamururu of Triple C, who got 433. The seat fell vacant following the passing away of Triple C Councillor Edward Kavuru in a road accident. Now, we saw politicians taking to Twitter to comment on these results. And I'm going to read for you a tweet by David Coulter, which says, "To any objective observer, this is patently ridiculous. Why would so many people vote for a party responsible for economic collapse, hyperinflation, deep-rooted corruption, ZESA failing, and the destruction of the judiciary? There is either fraud or coercion or perhaps a combination." So some people are wondering, why are people still voting for ZANU PF? But on the other side, ZANU PF was celebrating this win, saying that, well, it goes to show how 2023 results are going to be. Now, moving forward, about 105 Zimbabwean women and 2 men who had been lured into slavery through fake promises of well-paying domestic work in the Gulf region were recently freed from captivity after the government of Zimbabwe paid off their employers to secure their release. The government has in recent weeks successfully negotiated freedom of the 105 women and 2 men who were being subjected to deplorable living and working conditions that included constant beatings, being overworked, forced labor, underpayment, and sex slavery in the Arab countries, okay? Some of the women aged between 25 and 45 had been working under virtual captivity for nearly 2 years. We know that recently we have seen that a lot of these job vacancies are advertised on social media, and a lot of people have been, lured into taking these jobs only to find that what was advertised and what they're going through is very, very difficult, okay? Now, an official investigation earlier this year concluded that some local employment agents working in collusion with criminal syndicates in the Middle East were recruiting Zimbabwean women before trading them off into slavery. It was established that most of the women had their passports confiscated on arrival when were being forced to see out their 2-year employment contracts in spite of poor working conditions. Some of the employers were reportedly demanding up to $2,500 US from the women in return for their freedom, according to the official investigation, which also found that most of the domestic workers were earning between $60 US to $80 US per month. Okay, now we know that people are really desperate, to travel abroad, to go and work abroad, so they can easily fall into the hands of these dubious work agents who are taking them and lying to them. We hope that those criminals are brought to book. Now, to the currently trending story from South Africa. The ANC is currently having its elective congress, where we saw today, 7 top officials of the ANC being nominated and elected. Now, the much talked about was about the presidents of ANC. ANC nominated 2 candidates to run for its top job, President Cyril Ramaphosa and the former health minister, Zim Women. President Cyril Ramaphosa retained the leadership position and will be the ANC presidential candidate for 2024. President Cyril Ramaphosa garnered 2,476 votes against Zim Women, who got 1,897 votes. We also saw very interesting scenarios, during these votes, where we saw the Zim Women camp saying, well, we need a recount to make sure that everything is done openly. But of course, even after the recount, around. President Cyril Ramaphosa won, and many people have been speaking against the re-election of President Cyril Ramaphosa, saying, well, there is too much corruption. But again, other people are saying, well, in as much as President Cyril Ramaphosa is entangled into corruption and the palapala, we also know that Zweli Mkhize is also entangled into some other corruption dues as well. So we don't know how it's going to be now, since the people have selected. But now, when it comes to the 2024 presidential elections, how is this going to be? Finally, the story that we have is, of course, about the World Cup 2022, where we saw Argentina being crowned the champions of the world after beating France in the penalty kick out. So Argentina is walking home with a whooping $42 million, while France, as the second runners, are going to go home with $30 million. They're going to be followed by Croatia, which is going home with a whooping $27 million, and Morocco, who are on the fourth position, going home with a whooping $25 million. Okay, it has been interesting, month of football, but now the curtains have come down and we are still talking about Mbappe. We are still talking about Messi. My name is Ziki, and until I come back again with more stories, please subscribe and stay. And to those who are returning, you are all appreciated. Until then, take care.
Go and write it down. After the World Cup, come on this platform on our TV page and check. Write it down. I saw many nations scrambling for the World Cup, But at the end, I saw two nations, were the two nations that were holding the World Cup, holding the football, that many nations were scrambling after. And these two nations was Germany and Belgium. They were holding and dragging, tug of war now. They were trying to seize the ball tried to go this side. And then it ended in 2 versus 1. Belgium 1, Germany 2. Go and write this down. The winner, 2022 World Cup, I see. It's Germany. Bishop, I know you have a prayer for Cameroon. Amen. Amen. I just put what I saw. I believe I see him well. I see well. I saw Belgium. I saw Germany fighting on the World Cup football. You had the two nations still standing. And then I saw Belgium 1. I saw Germany 2. I'm seeing Germany with 2022 trophy. This Prophet P. Collins Nya in Boya, Cameroon prophesying. Go and write it down. So, congratulations.
Bagudauno manyakuno tamba zvekare sport betting pamonga tengo something next year. Nyora imari zvanja kutaurira ipasi. Vana vanotamba sport betting pamonga tengo ukafoni kanyowani next year. Vana vanotamba sport betting simudzai maoko kuti tonendia wangani. Vana vanotamba sport betting 1. Kana vari vashoma nditaure pavanhu ndongoadedza ndongoanyorera pasi. 1 up, 2 up, 3 up, 4 up, 5 up, 6 up, 7, 8, 9, 10. Vakwana vadota kana vari vashoma handitaure pamaiki ndowanyorera pasi. Saka ndichabvunza zvekare vada vanotamba sport betting ndevapi simudzai maoko nokukasira. Saka vashoma kava ndorega kutaura pamaiki.
Taurai pro.
Mati? Simudzai maoko kanyasai simudzai kana mushona unotamba sport betting. Chamukuchika chii? chidzikisai. Right, nyorai pasi. Paline-up yedu pamechi chatambwa between izvi ndezve sports betting chete rabatika dare pamechi chatambwa between France neArgentina. Izvi ndezve sports betting chete pamechi chatambwa between France neArgentina. Argentina ichatamba a very defensive game, but France ichawana a lead by goal per second half. Ichafoirisa dare rese reita kuti France itye Argentina. Manzwisisa kapo pamechi kutambwa between France neArgentina. Argentina ichatamba a very defensive game yekuwanza maplayers padefense kuti France isetese isagohwese. Kasi defense yavachaise chavafoirisa manje because ndo yavachanyanya kuconcentrate nayo mukuvarairwa paipai. Kwaita gwani manje wekufrance vakavarairwa anorivhurira rapinde iroro zvinenge zvadhakwa because France nobve anolovawo manje defensive. Argentina kuti chipinde ipapo zvafuira rabatika dare saka zvinoda kuna uchitotamba sports betting apo wakutoziva kuti France ndio iri kuhina kapo makorokoto. Then pamechi chatambwa between Croatia and Morocco. Handiko futi ke mechiyo Croatia and Morocco. That's right. Croatia ichatamba kungeda upanisha Morocco kuita ungeda urevenge. Rabatika dare Croatia is going to play as if it wants to revenge on Morocco. Rabatika dare saka game richatambika asi tino urombo tatine shungu dzokuti zvibude nenzira tachitarisira, but dambudziko raitika nderekuti Croatia ndio iri kuwina match. Saka Croatia and Morocco hatirabatika Croatia ndio iri kuita se. Then France neArgentina, France ndio iri kuita se rabatika dare. Saka pazvinozonzi zvapera zvakokotwa zvapera pakuiswa line up kune vari kunotamba sport betting. Isa France pa number 1, isa Argentina pa number 2, isa Croatia pa number 3, then isa Morocco pa number 4. Robatikere mukunyorera vakunotamba betting. Pauna uri kunotamba betting. Isa France pa number 1. Rabatikala. Isa Argentina pa number 1. Isa Croatia pa number 1. Isa Morocco pa number 1. Saka ndidoma team 4 asara. Saka pa sport betting line up yandu kutaura kana ukanobeta ikabude iri iyoyo. Andi ndokutora kwaunoita mari. But kuti uzonyatsa kutora mari panoda mascores. Alright, since service yedu iri live mascores ndichaku vanenge vari sports betting pa uchasvika pandiri pandinchirovera nyorera vanhu maprofesi avo unotaura ndokunyorera nandikire mascores pasi. Kasi kana uri kunotamba sport betting endonoisa France pa number 1. Ndati izvi ndezvo vanhu vari kunotamba sport betting. Handiti zvere? Endonoisa France pa number 1. Endonoisa Argentina pa number 1. Endonoisa Croatia pa number 1. Endonoisa Morocco pa number 1. Kana uri kutamba sport betting. Saka uri munhu anoda unotamba sport betting uchibva panapo chinditemba. Endonoisa line up yandikukutaurira. Kasi kana uri munhu asingafarire sport betting usiri kuda unotamba sport betting. Gara wakaisa ako mubrain dzako kuti Argentina ichawina, Morocco ichawina. Zvovarana zvakadaro. Rabatika dare. Right, ngatisimudze